Lewis Hamilton, why the Mercedes F1 driver is right when considering extending the race, and the key factors ahead. Lewis Hamilton has previously admitted that he has withdrawn a serious consideration for several years. But every time, he has renewed. However, during his recent interview by Vanity Fair, he changed it, saying, "I will lie if I said I hadn't thought about extending." As if the predetermined assumption is now that he will withdraw at the end of his current contract, which extends until the end of 2023, but that he is considering not doing so. It is a subtly different position. How long could it happen? Physically, many years still. Fernando Alonso has shown this year the madness of the previous assumption of the career, that the performances of the pilots of the race will invariably move away physically if they continue with the 30 years/early 40. It was always nonsense. With some exceptions, it is an invariably exhausted motivation, after the long years of work, that can begin to reduce the internal desire to press as strong as the young charger who seeks to make his name. Alonso is still very motivated, just like Hamilton, for years by Alonso. Lewis Hamilton said he feels really excited about the second half of the season after finishing P2 at the Hungarian GP. Lewis Hamilton said he feels really excited about the second half of the season after finishing P2 at the Hungarian GP. If he can retain that internal desire, there is no reason for him not to access his extraordinary SS as indeed as always in the coming years. Hamilton has a great sense of his own professional history. He sees it in very personal terms as a triumph against adversity. His entire career has been a really magnificent triumph against so many initial obstacles. A black child of a council assets is not the usual starting point of a F1 race. Even if he had retired 10 years ago with only his world title of McLaren and never sat in a dominant Mercedes, he would still be one of the true greats of sport, one of the best drivers you have seen. But beyond its level as a driver, its stature as a sports icon, in terms of inspiration for the black culture that represents its success, the opening of sport to a huge section of the population does not previously involve and is not compromised, it possibly makes the best of all. Some exciting races saw Lewis Hamilton finally passing Charles Leclerc through third place in Silverstone. Some exciting races saw Lewis Hamilton